What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to do some runs against Phantom Pain Cage. Now, we only get 4 attempts, so I'm just going to show you guys the teams that I used against Nozzle for the first 4 runs: Test, Elite, Night, and Chaos. And you guys can see the scores that I was able to get. You know, I got 12,160, pretty good score, almost 24,000, almost 48.5, and then on Chaos we got almost 94,000. Pretty good scores. I would like a little bit more on Chaos, but I'm pretty happy with it for the most part, and it's really, really important. I can't really stress how important it is to do the best you can in Phantom Pain Cage, so that way you can get Phantom Pain scars in order to get shards, especially for your characters like Alpha here and Bianca. I mean, those 2 S-rank characters are just godsends for a lot of us, and you're going to be seeing Bianca in a little bit of today's run. And you know, the quicker you do Phantom Pain Cage, the better. The faster you kill that boss, the better off you're going to be. Now, Nozzle is actually weak to fire damage, so one of our characters is 40% fire, so he's actually really beneficial for this boss. However, Bianca's going to be our other damage dealer, and she is a lightning based character. However, Nozzle is not, you know, he doesn't have a resistance against lightning. He's only resistant against ice, which we have no characters that are ice relative. So we'll jump in here and let's take a look at my builds. Now, as far as Lee is only level 68. He's got a long way to go. My account is actually at level 80, so I can put a lot more work into him, and he's far from an optimal build. He has a 4-star weapon, which is, you know, it's okay, but it does physical damage increase by 15%. You know, Nozzle's weak to fire. And really, I would prefer to have his signature weapon or even his 5-star weapon. I think that would be a lot better than this. We could gain a little bit more BP, do a lot more damage. But the thing about physical damage to keep in mind is whenever you do physical damage, you actually can crit. Whereas when you do elemental damage, you can't. Whenever you crit, you're just going to be hitting a lot harder. You're going to be doing a lot more damage just for those brief moments that burst damage is just going to shoot right out whenever you crit. So whenever you're playing with Lee, it's really, really important to do his blue orbs. And the blue orbs are important because they only do physical damage. So therefore, you can actually crit. Right? And with the weapon I'm using, that actually works out really, really well, right? So I always try to do blue orbs before I go into any other skills. That way I can actually hopefully get a crit and do tons and tons of damage so I can hit like a truck and hopefully melt that boss in one shot. Now, as far as the memories that I'm using on this character, I'm using a 4-piece Hannah, which works really well with Lee, and then I'm using 2 Fredericks. Now, I don't think Frederick are really, they're good, right? For each dodge, you're going to gain, you know, an extra damage by 5%, and this is all damage, which is really good. But you could also, you know, use 2 Darwins. I mean, Darwins, you don't even have to worry about dodging, but for each orb ping, you get extra damage by 3%. So, I mean, this can stack 5 times, so if you do a 5 ping, right, you're going to get an extra 15% damage. The thing with the Frederick is you can gain 15% damage just with 3 dodges. For me, it just seems to be easier to play with the Frederick, but for some people, maybe it wouldn't be. Okay, so, I mean, for your main damage dealers, you just want to have memories on them that are going to apply tons and tons of damage. Now, for Bianca, everybody knows pretty much how Bianca should be built. For Heisen, 2 Frederick, or some people like to use the Condolinas, right? But the Fredericks really are better as far as doing your damage. Again, for every time you dodge, you're just going to increase your damage. It's just going to be a lot better. But I want to show you guys something on my memories. I actually re-rolled the resonance on these babies. And as you guys can see, I got 2 core passes here now, which is great. That makes a huge difference in her damage. And then we got attack in all the slots. Every one of these slots has attack, right? The crit doesn't really matter. We don't care about the crit here. We just care about attack. But every one of these have attack, which is awesome, except for these 2 red orbs. Those are the only ones that I still need to re-roll. So I got really, really lucky when I re-rolled her memories. I'm actually very happy. I would like to have more core passes, but I'm not going to keep re-rolling these and re-rolling these. I need to work on Alpha and actually get some more core passes for her. I need to re-roll quite a few for her, try to get some attack or whatever. But I digress. That's a whole nother story. But even if you don't have her weapon here, it'll be fine, right? It's going to be fine. But the Tonitrus weapon does help a lot because it does increase her lightning damage. It's just buffing up what she already has. And you got the lightning strike that deals 150% lightning damage. Again, if you don't have it and you're just using her 5-star weapon, it's fine, guys. I mean, it sucks that it's just critical rate and critical damage, which is pretty much useless for this character because she's 80% lightning. She doesn't crit. She doesn't crit at all, really. I mean, so it's not really the best weapon for her, but I bet you anything, even with the 5-star weapon, even with a 4-star weapon, if you ever leveled up pretty much, you're still going to be able to do this with her or even other damage dealers. You don't have to use the damage dealers I'm using. I mean, if the characters aren't weak to the boss that you're facing in Pain Cage, you could absolutely use them. I just think Lee and Bianca are really good for this. Now, as far as the supports, we're going to use the same 2 supports for both of our damage dealers. And one of them is going to be Lucia. Now, Lucia is a lightning-based character, so she does synergize with Bianca really well. And you see the memory set that I'm running. I'm running the Da Vinci set on her with the Isona, so that way we can decrease the elemental resistance when we do our QTE. That's going to really, really help Bianca. The more debuffs that we apply, the better off we're actually going to be. And along with Lee. Now, Lee, you know, we're trying to do the blue orb, right? But when you do the yellow into the red, you're going to do fire damage. So these here are actually going to debuff the boss quite a bit. So it's really important to do the blue, try to do a crit, and then maybe go into a yellow afterwards to try to apply some fire damage, because that's when these debuffs are really going to help out Oli. And my Lucia is only level 60. It's not like she's leveled up, jacked up, or anything like that. She does have the Kuji no Sada sword, which it brings down the lightning strike, and it deals physical damage. And then we have our next support, which is actually... Where's she at here? Liv here. And Liv, as you guys can see, I just have a bunch of debuffs on her. That's all I have. I just have the Guinevere to decrease the elemental resistance. I have the Gloria to increase our elemental attack. And then I have Samantha to increase our elemental attack as well. So, you know, we got two buffing sets of memories for either Lee or Bianca, and then we have the Guinevere to have the elemental resistance for Lee or Bianca. That's kind of the beautiful thing about this is I'm using the 2 same supports for both of our damage dealers, and we'll start off with Lee. He'll do the first couple runs, and then we'll let Bianca do the last couple runs, because my Lee just isn't strong enough. I've seen Lee's, guys, seriously, when he's built up, I've seen triple S Lee's like one shot, you know, like one shot the 3rd stage against Pain Cage. It's pretty impressive. Maybe even higher than that. But it's just important to make sure that you're applying all these debuffs with one character. And then if you have the Da Vinci set on the other character, that's going to make a big, big difference. That's going to increase all of your attack by 20% when you have all 3 constructs on the field. It's just an amazing set, along with all these debuffs that you apply all at once. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with all 4 of those runs, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya. 僕が計算した弾道から逃げられば諦める。私も行きます。今回も完璧な車線でした。